videos today. I thought that good morning again, by the way. I mean, not that it matters because both of these videos will be released on the same day. So Monday. Anyhow, yeah, I stayed at the apartment close to Fukuoka Airport, the domestic terminal side of the airport. And I did think that the previous video for Sunday would be short because it was a relatively short day, but that is a fun surprise when you blog or vlog in this case, because when I when I structure my thoughts, a lot comes out, and that is one of the reasons why I like doing this. I mean, blogging in general. The vlogging part just makes it easier. I've actually fallen behind quite a lot, like 10 days or so on my Japanese one, and I don't think I will catch up on it because it's starting to feel like a bother. So I will just skip days, maybe summarize what has happened, like my Kyushu trip and something like that, and try to speak about that in Japanese. The problem in Japanese is that I need to think what I want to say before, and the time to do that during the trip was non-existent. And now I feel like I don't have that time unless I can ramble for a time because it takes so long to write and formulate my sentences. And sure, I can write it in English and then try to piece together things by using Google Translate and my textbook, but that will also take more time than this and stuff. So unfortunately, the experiment with Japanese diary did not work. I well, it could still work and it still would work, but I wanted it to be every day and see any sort of improvement. I don't think I have improved that much this trip, and it is what it is. I just have to continue trying. I'm back in Tokyo, so more focus on studies and improvement now. Now it's but the most important thing is the project going forward. So Monday, I lived at that apartment. It was extremely nice and also not. Uh, there was some flaws in the apartment there that I gave them very extensive and detailed, and hopefully they took it constructively because I liked the place. I gave it a good rating and stuff, but I also think that some of the things one of the things was the air conditioner was broken, so cold air was blowing on the bed, so I had to move the bed around. And the other thing was the beds were not the best. They had made a mistake, which for me was almost like seeing an 18-year-old's attempt to make their first apartment. They buy stuff they don't really know what it's for. Like, yeah, they have something to learn, but they owned all the apartments in that building, and that building was almost completely new. So I think they just had outsourced it to some people do this, and they didn't really care about the beds. Like, oh, we do Western style beds, and Western style beds, yeah, they should just look like something like this. But buying all these things is expensive, and Western beds aren't as expensive as futon, are they? No, yeah, yeah, I don't know. They had some mistakes that they easily could fix, and if they did that, it would be extremely valuable deal because it was very cheap for what that was. But yeah, it was also a bit away from the city. So if you wanted to go to the city, it was not convenient. But as an overnight apartment before an early flight or when you come late, it was something. So, but yesterday, Monday, was a really short day. I mean, it was as long as possible, but it not much happened because I woke up. I mm, I just packed everything together. went to the airport, I checked into a lounge, but not an airport lounge, but a bookstore lounge. Tsutaya is a chain store of selling books, kind of like Akademi Bokhandeln in Sweden, if it would have been a good place still. In my opinion, Akademi Bokhandeln has become shit, and all the bookstores left in Sweden are now that aren't shit are usually, well, SF Bokhandeln is not shit, but it's not as good as it could have been, and then small niche stores that are not commercialized, because all the big bookstores in Sweden think are horrible, extremely horrible and declining. And Tsutaya is amazing in so many ways, but the Japanese culture or the Japanese society seems to value books more. And also, this main bookstore have uh, at some locations opened a lounge kind of thing, kind of a hybrid between a co-working space and a lounge, where you can either pay per hour like a net cafe to study or work at a place with couches, and you have drink bar and snacks included in it, and you could also just add a bit to have alcoholic beverages like beer and wine added to that as well, and then you just sit there and you study with internet and electricity and chargers and blankets, and the service is amazing and the price is also amazing. So I really think it's worth it. I spent the entire day there, just studying, chilling, chilling. It wasn't as efficient as I wanted to be, because I my concentration weren't the best, probably because to lack of proper rest, and also due to the chair I chose to sit in wasn't the most ergonomically relaxing posture. So I had some problems with that, but I did do some progress. I did manage to study, and I sat there for about 10 hours before I just went to my plane. My plane was a bit late, half an hour or something like that. I had earphones on when they once again said the reason, but this time the delay was before we boarded, not during the boarding. But during the flight, I just played games and slept. And then when I come to Tokyo, people were rushing out of the plane. But I already knew this because I had checked, like, okay, when is the last train from Narita Airport to go to where I want to go? And it was less than 15 minutes after the plane landed to actually be able to use the train system all the way. And I can't still jog or run. The closest to running I can do now is a hobble, which makes it super apparent I am wounded in some way, because I'm basically jumping on one leg and then leaning on the broken one, or I cannot run. It's impossible, and also it is extremely risky. I've done this a couple of times for different reasons, and if I do that, I almost break my leg. Again, it feels like, because I trip very easily with just one leg. So I didn't hurry. I just went, and I could have made it. It was like 4 minutes left to take the last train, but it was also Shinkansen, pretty expensive. Instead, I bought a bus ticket. So a bus ticket to Shinjuku Station, and from there I bought. I spent about the same amount of money on taxi that I would have spent on the Shinkansen. But I didn't need to go up and down stairs then, and it took me to the apartment. And that was the day. I was very exhausted, and I had a meeting in the night at 1 o'clock. So I was probably in bed around 3 or something like that, and I was out like a light. It was an exhausting day, that kind of travel. And it was an extreme relief coming back to the apartment. I must say, it really did feel like I'm home. Like I don't have to run around with this heavy backpack all day and keep tabs on everything and stuff like that. And I know that the same kind of feeling happens when you come back from a long trip. So I will get that again when I come back home from here. Like everything I'm missing, everything that is not perfect, I have home. And then when I come home, it's those things I don't no longer need to work around. And that is the only thing, because more the halfway point was this Sunday. So now the last leg of the trip is going to be in Tokyo, and it feels like I've been gone for more than a week in Kyushu, but it's been exactly 1 week. So and it feels a bit like now when I can see the end date, it's like I have no time. I have no time. What can I do? In 2 weeks, I will go back to Sweden. It's so boring. This is horrible. I should just extend. I cannot. I don't have the money to do it, and I have shit tons of stuff I need to do back and want to do back home, including I'm selling stuff at this thing the same week I come home, and also we have an end in sight with this conflict with my father's death and stuff. So anyhow, now we're up to date, and my plans for today is mostly study and get back on track. Yeah, my 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 pants broke yesterday when I sat down in the bus because it was a bad position, and they have been mended once, and now they broke um, in a very bad way. So I think maybe I will need to buy some new ones. I can use the shorts because I have already scouted for new pants. I had planned to buy new pants before coming here, but now I really need to do it. I have scouted one place. I wanted to scout a few more places, but I think I might just have to buy those pants before it's too late, or just hope that Tokyo will be warmer because it felt super cold coming back here. 16 degrees, going from 30 degrees to 16 degrees. It's horrible. I know. Yeah, it's not as hot as in Kyushu, of course. Uh, so yeah, I think I prefer Kyushu since there are ACs everywhere. But it is nice not needing to sweat every single time you exert yourself. But I haven't so far exerted myself in Tokyo because I've been spending too much time by myself. Well, anyhow, that's it for today. So see you all tomorrow.